Hello, welcome to another Scratch tutorial from me, Mr. Morrison. So today we're going to create a very well-known game, which is Flappy Bird. So you see here, I've got my Flappy Bird that's avoiding the obstacles, and I'm using my spacebar to control him, and I don't want him to go too high so he hits the top of them, but I don't want him to go too low so he hits the other one. So it's all about controlling. And if I hit an obstacle, then it's game over. So go to scratch.mit.edu and press create to create a new project. I'm first going to change the backdrop, so that is found on the right hand side of the screen, and I'm going to choose a backdrop, and I would like wall. I like wall number 1 for this. I'm going to go into backdrops from the top, and I'm going to delete backdrop 1, I've got my wall, and I'm going to add another backdrop. So I'm going to choose backdrop and I'm going to find my wall again. And this one, I'm going to put some text on this wall. And it's going to be game over. And I'm going to make that black like this and pixel, and then make it nice and big. That's maybe too big there. About that. So there we are. So it's going to say game over, and I'll call this backdrop or game over. So that's my backdrops prepared. I'm then going to change my sprite. So I'm going to delete my sprite here, and I'm going to choose another sprite, and it's going to be the parrot. So here's my parrot. In my parrot, I'm going to change his costume slightly, and I'm going to do a fill where I'm going to change it to a nice bright yellow, because that's traditionally this game has a yellow bird in it. So I'm just going to click on all his bits. I'm going to leave his beak and eyes and feet, but I'm going to get the other colourful bits, change them like that. But you can choose exactly what your character looks like. I'm also at this point going to change the size of my character to 40. So now we're ready to code. So go back to code and make sure you've got the bird in the top corner. So the first step I'm going to do is go when green flag is clicked, and I'm going to do looks and switch backdrop to wall 1. So that's the start of this. I'm also going to get a score. So I'm going to go into variables, make a variable called score, and I'm going to put that set my variable score to 0. So when things start, we start with the blank wall and a score of 0. Then I would like, when green flag is clicked, I would like my bird to go flap its wings. So we have 2 costumes, so that means we can alternate between them. So I need to go into control and find the forever. And then I want next costume. I also would like a wait, and a wait 0.5 seconds. I'm next going to find a when space key is pressed, and then I'm going to go into motion and glide. So I want a glide of 1 second. I actually want to change that to 0.5 seconds, and I want to find my X and my Y positions. I also want to change the Y position slightly, so I'm going to go and find my plus here and add that in, so it's plus 40. So that means it'll move slightly along and then go up by 40 every time you press the space bar. So next I'd like to add in some gravity. This means he's going to fall unless you're pressing the space bar. So in here, I want another on green flag clicked. We're going to have quite a few on green flag clicks, and that's just because there's forever loops here. So when green flag is clicked, I'm going to go into control and forever and just motion change y by, and that's going to be -3. So it's going to go downwards. The final one of these is when green flag is clicked, I'm going to set y to 135, so that's the starting point. And then forever, I'm going to have an if statement, and if in sensing touching edge, so if he touches the edge, top or bottom edge, then I want it to be game over. So I'm going to go to looks, so I'm going to go switch backdrop to game over, and in control I would like to stop all. So that's everything on our parrot. So we can see that now our parrot moves as you would expect, but I've got no obstacles coming towards him, and it does go game over if he falls, but I need some obstacles. So I am going to create a new sprite, and I need to press the paint icon to create one. Now I'm going to make these a nice bright darker green, something like that, for my pipes. So I'm going to use these squares to add a pipe somewhere here. There we are. I'm going to make it in the middle. Make sure it's in the middle because then it's easier to control where it's appearing. And then I'm going to add another one of these, try and line it up exactly below it. That's fine. So they're the same size. And then that's my pipes. So I could name these obstacle. And then I need to code this obstacle. So let's go back to the coding area and I'll show you how we code them. So I'm first going to go when green flag is clicked, and I'm going to have a show, and the show will become apparent in a second. I'm then going to have a motion and a set x2, and we'll make it 360, which is going to be the middle. Then I'll have a control, a wait of 1 second, so 1 second before it starts moving. Then I'll have an if, in fact I'll have a forever and then if, so forever if, and then I need an operator, which is going to be the one that faces this way. So this is if x position, let's find x position in motion. If x position is less than -160, then we're going to set x to 320, and then we're going to change the score by, so let's see if I can find, change score, variables, change my variable, need to change that to say score by 1. So that means every time it passes through, it's going to change the score by 1. But I need a if touching my bird, I need something to change. So I need to go into control and if, and sensing, touching, parrot, I want it to go game over. So that means if the parrot touches, it goes to game over and it stops all. Last thing I want to add into this code here is a when, so an event, when backdrop switches to game over, I want this to be hidden. So that's where we needed that show to begin with here, because each time it's game over, it hides the green one, so we can see the words game over easier. So that is one set of these, but I would like 2 of these to appear. So I am going to get another one. I notice I have missed something, so I need to put in it changes x by up here and x by -2, otherwise it won't come towards my character. So now it's coming towards my character like this, but I only have one. So next thing I want to do to this obstacle is I want to duplicate it. So I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to make one change, which is to change the wait time to 5 seconds. So there is my working game. You can of course add a lot more to this game, change the obstacles and stuff, but it's the basic version to get you started. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another video very soon.